will make it even more fun. What do you think is the mood of this piece, particularly? You know, that was one of Beethoven's specialty, and to give us lots of surprises. But what do you think about the very open, because we've got to break that piece, the very start. What do you think about the open?
Stormy.
Well, stormy, that's an interesting word. What's the time? Yeah.
Mysterious.
Mysterious, I think that's a great one. What do you think? Foreboding, okay. What do you guys think?
That's a good description.
Oh, so they were saying foreboding and mysterious. That's great. Yeah. So, how can we make this even more foreboding and mysterious? Because you're all playing the very same notes. And I don't know if you've ever seen the kind of piano that Beethoven would have written this for. Did you ever see it? The great-great-grandpa, this thing. It's smaller, it's all wood, it doesn't have this big cast iron frame. It's much softer. It doesn't last as long, the sound doesn't last as long. It didn't have as many notes. There were many things that it was much more delicate. So we have to kind of adjust when we're playing on this big monster, music from this period that Beethoven, Haydn, Mozart. So here you are all playing the same notes in this piano. So can you just imagine that? So you want to draw all the listeners in. And you don't have to go out to meet them by playing loudly. You want to bring them into you. So kind of really, almost like a whisper, stage whisper. Sound like, you know, some da 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 bum bum bum, or bum 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 bum. You know, it's in this mystery. It makes it asks a lot of questions. So that was really good. The other thing I would suggest is dee da dum bum, which sounds more mysterious. The dee da dum bum or dee da dum. Yeah. So you want to have a sort of, what's going on here? And then, yes, what's the dynamic after that? Yeah, what's that mean?
Even softer.
Yeah, so there's a helper we got right down there on the floor. Yeah, the una corda, which, you know how that works?
It moves the so that when you start striking one string.
Great, yeah, yeah. So you could all hear that. What makes the difference when he uses the so-called soft pedal, or una corda, which literally means one string, that instead of striking all the strings for that note, the hammers are moved over so they strike fewer strings. So you could really use that. Yeah. Now the other thing is when you have octaves, that doubles the thickness of the sound. So do that one more time from the beginning, and can you voice it? You know what voicing means?
Somewhat.
Okay, like what's the somewhat that you know about
Like
this?
making character.
Yeah, in a way that you have to decide. It's like if you're when you're playing in an orchestra, the conductor might say, you know, violas, you're a little too loud, but I guess they wouldn't usually say that. They'd say, violas, you're a little too loud. Maybe trumpets, you're too loud. So it's a way of telling, you know, kind of, you want to have a balance that gives you the kind of texture, musical texture you want. So here you are, you've got this in both hands. So can you voice it so that the right hand is going to have the little edge to it? The left hand's going to be soft. Okay? And we're going to really make that pianissimo, and then something magical happens. Actually, it already happens with the pianissimo, doesn't it? You think you're in C minor, and then what's this do? Does that seem expected? Do you expect that? No. So you can let the space around the phrases really speak too. You know, space is sort of like looking at a canvas, a painting. It's not only the things that are painted, but it's the space around the object. So give the space. And now something even more amazing happens. What happens here after the pianissimo and the rests? I mean, who has
A different
harmony, yeah. And instead of playing the same exact things, are you playing the same exact things here?
No.
No. You have one thing, and the violin comes in with something operatic almost. What do you feel when you play this little tune? Or do you have a feeling about the mood of it?
It's a little more.
Yeah, yeah. So you want to kind of take over, it's starting very delicately, but then you have this cry that wells up, musical cry that wells up. And you want to really, and it's your moment to be free and expressive. Because he gives you, it's a kind of cadenza. You know what a cadenza is? Cadenza? It's a little improvisatory moment. It's as if Beethoven is just saying, in a way, make it up or make it sound like it's made up because you're feeling so intensely, no notes will really suffice. So can you start it again and set the atmosphere for these very weird things that are happening within the first 8 bars?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, yeah, maybe Bela wants to.
Yeah, Melissa, I think that F sharp is, it's a funny thing. It's a very sad, emotional F sharp. When I play that, I'm feeling like, why can't we just start this piece? What's wrong? Why are we so lost? And so I put it a little bit higher. Would you play that chord, Kyle, please? You're putting it about there, and this, can you hear how that has a little bit more tension to it? So I have that, and then this is just oh well, right? And actually, I want you guys to do something. I want you to play the beginning, and I want you to imagine that your heads are together here. I want your heads touching, and then when you play da di da, I want you to stand up and go over there. Okay? Try it. Right, so touch your heads. You're together here at the beginning. You're one person. Do you feel how lonely you are? You see what I mean? when you were together, you were all saying the same thing. But what your part is saying is, I'm all alone, I'm all alone. So you have to have that separation. This is where even a little body language in chamber music can be so demonstrative. And here's where I really advocate playing from memory, because you'll be better together at the beginning. You guys know these notes, don't you? If you are watching each other. Karen Tuttle, my great chamber music teacher and a great violist, I don't know if any of you know this name, she taught at Curtis and Juilliard and Banff and everything. She was my chamber music coach, and she was very funny. And you know what she would say in a place like that, where you're all together? Eat each other's fingers. Isn't that a funny thing to say? But what that means is that you're watching each other's fingers all the time. It really helps you play together.
You have to sort of imagine this mind meld, as if you're as if you are playing each of those instruments and they're playing your instrument. When you talked about body language, another facet of it, I'm not sure how this applies to the strings, but certainly for piano, you have to feel like your fingers become spindly and bony in certain instances like this. It can't be fleshy and juicy if they were playing, Liszt or Rahman, or then juicy and hanging over the plate, like a nice big hunk of sirloin steak. But here they're bony and ghostly and spidery. So I don't know. Is there an application of that kind of thing where what you do when you play is how it sounds?
Yeah, I'm just playing on the side of the hair. And I don't let my arm go down. I'm really just letting my fingers go down. And then this, I won't even let my fingers go down. And then here, and then, oh Lord. It's different for us now. And then I'm back with Julia, right? Because we have. You see what I mean? One of the things in chamber music is that you always know who you belong to.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Your part belongs to somebody or it's against somebody.
That's right. Where you're all supporting each other in times of great extremis. Each other's guts. That usually doesn't last long. You kiss me.
Can we just quickly just do a cello thing? So when you're playing, our arms are a little bit different than a violinist. So when we're playing loud, try holding your bow with your left hand for a minute. And I just want you to hang all your arm weight. And really wiggle your elbows. So, yeah, so you really got all that weight. Now that's going to be a loud sound. If we want a soft sound, we just take the weight out of our hand a little bit. Yeah, keep your arm still relaxed, but just relax. Have your hand be very light.
Sort of like a monkey arm. Like hanging from the branch or something.
Right. You're a hanger? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. And also, just what Bela was saying, if you can roll your bow, so you've got flat hair, yeah, that's great. And so we have side hair for the beginning, so you want to be really scary.
Can we try that open now with your spidery fingers?
Okay, watch each other instead of the
laser
music.
beam coming out of the fingertips.
Watch each other instead of the music.
Breathe together.
And you guys are kind of hanging back. You're always late after the rest. Can you bring your second quarter early after the rest? Oh, really? You want me to dance with you?
For you to play that melody and for you guys to sing, no, actually sing his part with him. Do you ever do that when you practice? Sing each other's parts?
And Coach does.
You know his part. So can we try that where he's playing it and you sing along with him, his part? Ready? 1, 2. Okay, now when you're hearing him play his part, you're singing it inside too. As Bela said, that'll lead you to feel more like you're involved, such that you'll come early. And this is, you're still the ghostly, spidery fingers, very focused and
So you can use that.
Stay in motion. Guys, one of the biggest things that happens with rest is that we freeze. It's a rest, right? We're not playing. Wrong. We're still in motion. Would you pitch a ball like that? I hope not. Okay, you would do a wind up. So during rests, I'm always winding up. I didn't do it. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm always moving my arm.
I think
you guys play
like you're
tennis?
singing. There's chunks of it involved.
Does anyone play tennis? Yeah. Okay. So you've seen a tennis player. You imagine when you're waiting for this ball to come over the net, and they're always moving, right? They wouldn't just.
Right.
Yeah. So it's the same for us. We've got to always keep the bow in motion.
But I wanted to say one other thing. It's interesting because there are different rests. Like what they did that's so great after the first phrase, then it's a kind of suspension of time.
Yeah, but this is the
This is
dance
different.
part.
This is different.
This is the dance part.
You start there and be very focused. 1, 2.
Okay, and guys, you're slowing those down. Tum, 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 keep those moving. In fact, all of those are little bit, you're a little slower than Kyle. Would you do it with me, Kyle? See how I help his phrase go? Let's do it all together, same thing.
It should be like, oh, what?
So I think when you do that tends to make you late. You might, yeah, da, da, da. Just do simply as it comes. It's a little easier to get the arm swinging if you don't. I mean, this part of our arm is the part that doesn't stop. And see, I can feel you fighting me. You, even when I'm doing this bowing with you, you go da-dee, stop. Da-dee, da-dee. There's a kind of way in which I'm always thinking of the bow as a smile. So, see that shape? So even though I come out of the string, see how it's still moving? And that's a big help in not being late. Is anybody here ever late after rest? I see a show of hands. This is a huge part of learning to come in after rest. And also before I play, what did I do? Did you see that motion? Rhythm. I can't even play. So giving yourself that little breath with your arm. I don't know what piano.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Bloody thing. That's the thing. We don't have bows, but we have to imagine our arms are
You have arms.
over. That's right. Now, what's the mood here? Let's just establish that too. What is the mood right here? What do you think?
Still mysterious.
Yeah.
Except more English.
Yeah, that's good. Wow. Yeah. Does it seem to resonate with you guys?
What did he say more what?
He said, yeah, a little more anguished.
Aha.
Yeah, it's a little more feverish and stirred up. Yeah. So that will also, if you're sort of sitting on the edge of your chairs in a way, the fight or flight reflex. That's what did you say? Adrenaline, that's right. And then, so do you want to do this one more time? Then
Yes,
I want to
please.
jump to
Yeah.
the second theme.
Sure. Do you see when I'm trying to move her arm, her whole body's moving? Okay, wait, sorry, Carl. So let this go. You are holding a lot with your shoulder. There you go. Yeah, don't drop your bow, but drop your shoulder. There you go, once more. I'm not gonna bother her.
Yeah, now I have a question here. Are you all important all at the same time, or are you still the most melodic one through this section? Or is there, what do you think is going on between various instruments?
Maybe the thinking.
Okay, well, you have yum bum ba-dum bum ba, and then
Melissa?
right? You got the thingy, right? Yeah. So